stuck to the plan. Always said that we would stand up, never ran. We the fam and loyalty never change up. Been down since day one, look at where we came from. Jumping out on anybody who try to say something. One thing about it, got a problem, I got the same one. Money rolls, we fold. Plenty clubs, we close. Follow the same code. Never turn our backs, our cars don't even lose control.
Welcome to the Associated Wrestling Press's College Wrestling Review. I will be your host for tonight's show. Big Ten Network, Student U, wrestling analyst, and newly appointed ESPN NCAA broadcaster for the 2015 NCAA Championships, Eric Olenowski, and we'd like to welcome 2012 Virginia State champion and the walking book of useless facts for Virginia wrestling, Christian Olenowski. Christian, welcome to the show.
Hey, Eric, thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely, no problem. Thanks for coming on. And the reason I like to have you on is, first off, I mean, you know more about Virginia wrestling than Virginia wrestling knows about itself. Tonight's duel, you can't hide, was one of the best duels for college wrestling this year. Virginia Tech seems to always get themselves stuck in a crazy predicament. You know, they come down 1-2 points for the team scores, and they leave it up to Ty Walls. If I have the ball, 4th and goal, I'm giving the ball to Ty Walls. He didn't finish this tonight. He was there though. Let's start this podcast off by saying you have Prestige Worldwide. Let's talk a little bit about that before we get into tonight's duels. Prestige Worldwide is a team that you started a couple years ago. You guys, you're one of the best teams at all the national tournaments. And I've heard people say, I'm not going to say I've heard you say, but people have said it's the best team that Virginia has put on the mat in years. So tell me a little bit about Prestige Worldwide before we get into this podcast.
Yeah, I just kind of, a couple of my buddies started a couple of years ago when I was in high school as really just a big joke, just to have a good time, go to some tournaments and beat some kids up. And over the years, we've been traveling and, really just been trying to make a name for Virginia wrestling. We got a bunch of guys competing at Beats of the East tomorrow and throughout the weekend. And we've got 10 guys coming in pre-seeds for the tournament. And we've got 5 of them in the top 5. So really trying to make some noise on the national scene this year and, really looking to make a name for Virginia wrestling and put Virginia on the map in the high school ranks as Virginia Tech has done in college.
Yeah, that would be nice to get Virginia back on the rankings where Great Bridge kind of, if you're a Virginia wrestling fan, you know that Great Bridge kind of put Virginia on the map back in the day. Before we get into the duel, do you have anything coming up that the listeners can look forward to? Any camps, any tournaments, anything like that they could look forward to?
Yeah, December 28th, Sunday after Christmas, we are putting on our first clinic ever for Team Prestige Worldwide. It's going to be in Ashland, Virginia, at the Hanover Hawkeye Wrestling Facility. They're an up-and-coming wrestling club, and their assistant or their head wrestling coach is Prestige Worldwide's assistant, Coach Gabe LeVay. He's an awesome coach. He's a former college wrestler, and he's got a great wrestling mind. He's very enthusiastic about the sport, and I'm excited to bring big things to Virginia with Coach LeVay. And check us out on Twitter at PWW Boats and with a capital N throws. All the info for our camp is going to be on there, and check it out.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll make sure to post all your Twitter information and everything on the AssociatedWrestlingPress.com, and that's where you can find this video cast or podcast, whatever you want to call it. Enough about Prestige Worldwide, enough about Virginia wrestling. Let's get into this duel. I'll tell you what, this duel is one of the best duels for the sport of wrestling that you've seen the entire year. You can't get any better than this. It came... I'll give you a sneak peek. It came down to the heavyweight duel. Let's skip that. 125 pounds. I'm going to have you take this away. I was trying to get my subscription to BTN Plus. Even though I'm associated with BTN, stuff still has to happen. Joey Dance, number 4 in the country, taking on Jordan Conway, number 11 in the country. What happened here? How? I know Jordan Conway knocks off number 4 Joey Dance. How did it happen?
Joey Dance comes out firing, gets the first takedown. Conway gets an escape, and it's 2-1 right away. That's the end of the first period. Second period, Conway chooses bottom. And then this is where Joey Dance lives and dies by his own sword. Conway shoots a low single on him. Joey tries to scramble, which he is amazing at. He's forced many scrambles with really competitive guys this year, and he's won most of his scrambles, and that's how he's won a lot of matches. And Joey gets caught on his back. Funny thing about this match is Joey was unaware that he gave away near fall at the end of the match. He at the end of the second period, it is 6-2. Joey chooses bottom, gets an escape and a takedown, makes it 6-5. Cuts Conway loose, and he believes that the score is tied to go to overtime. Looks over at Coach Dresser a little bit confused at the end of the match, and I think Joey just needs to be a little more aware of what's going on in the match, especially in such an important dual meet like this. So it really died by his own sword here. He forced and scrambles and gets caught on his back.
Yeah,
Conway.
You know what? You don't see that a lot either. Especially, he's young. There's not a lot you can take from him. Joey Dance is still, what is he, 19, 20 years old? He's a young wrestler. He All-American. So it's not like you expect anything less than a stellar performance from him. But you have to understand, he's still a young kid. So the mistakes that he made, could they be from inexperience? Absolutely. And I didn't see the match. Like I said, I was trying to work something else out, but you text me and you say, hey, Joey Dance just lost. I think you're messing with me. There's absolutely no way that I'm taking Conway in this match. I still don't believe. I haven't had an opportunity to watch it, but I'm going to go back and I'll do it. And I'll watch the match, but, Joey Dance I felt like he's been on a different level this entire year. He's getting to his shots. He's finishing his shots. He's doing a great job riding. He's getting out from bottom. He's doing everything you need. And does it show the lack of experience of Joey Dance, or does it show that Jordan Conway's here to wrestle? That's the question that we haven't answered yet. What do you think? Do you think that Jordan Conway is that good?
Oh, Jordan Conway is a real deal. Last couple of years, he's been behind one of the top pound-for-pound wrestlers in the entire country, Nico Magaludis. And when you're grinding with a guy like that,
couldn't agree more.
You're grinding every day with someone like that. You're going to be ready to wrestle guys like Joey Dance on an everyday basis.
Absolutely. Let's not harp too much on 125. Joey Dance ends up losing, so Penn State takes the early 3-0 lead. Very unexpected. Let's jump to 133. Jimmy Gooliband versus Kevin Nordstrom. It went as expected. I think Jimmy Gooliband is at another level this year. I say it every time we talk about Jimmy Gooliband. He is here to wrestle this year. He is doing everything that he needs to do. Just his emotions on the mat. They're incredible. I love watching him wrestle. I love watching the matches that he's wrestling in, because he's so focused. When he goes out there, he has one goal, and that is simply to win the match. He doesn't care if he wins by 100 points, which you can't do because Tech falls 15 points, but he's just there to wrestle. He never looks like it's too big of a scene, and that might be from the experience that he has. We just talked about Joey Dance only being his second year, but Jimmy Gooliband, same story. Second year.
Jimmy's been tons of big bulls. He's only a sophomore last year. He's wrestled with the likes of Ed Ruth and David Taylor, and when you're looking up to guys like that, I think you're going to learn pretty quickly how to handle these big match environments. And
Absolutely.
Jimmy's been the face of Pennsylvania wrestling since he was a little guy. Me and you grew up watching Jimmy, and
the funny thing. Sorry, go ahead, Christian. Excuse me.
Yeah, Jimmy's been one of those top guys his entire life, and it's been cool watching him grow up to the wrestler he is today.
Yeah, I remember wrestling with him at Rob Waller's All-American camps in Latrobe, Pennsylvania. So shout out to Latrobe, Pennsylvania. If you're watching the show from Latrobe, thanks for watching. We really appreciate it. Let's move on to 141. This is one of those matches where you say Penn State has... We said it on the preview of the match. There's no one that they can throw out to deal with Devin Carter. Devin Carter is on. So you're looking at levels. If we're talking on the Meek Mill game, there's levels to this stuff. You know what I mean? We got Logan Stieber on this level, and you got Devin Carter just a couple notches below. Devin Carter ranked third in the country, comes out, gets the fall for Virginia Tech. This is what I felt that this picked Virginia Tech up. They came out, they were down 6-0. Devin Carter gets the fall. They move right back, 6-6. Where are you at? You're right back in the duel. Kevin Dresser, Virginia Tech has been one of the most exciting teams to watch, and it's because they have kids that are just ready to wrestle. Devin Carter showed that tonight. You grew up wrestling with Devin Carter. I mean, did you expect anything else?
Oh no, Devin. I think Devin made that big jump back down to 141, and I think it's really going to pay off for him this season. He had that early speed bump against Logan Stieber, and I don't see him looking back anytime soon. He's going to be
correct.
He's going to be someone to watch out for at the national tournament again, like he has been the last 3 years there. And I think Devin Carter is he's looking to stop history. I think he wants blood. He wants blood from Logan Stieber. And,
can he do it though?
This could be.
Start here. We'll stop you before you get too far. Do you think Devin Carter does he have a chance of ever stopping him, or is this?
I think if anybody's stopping Hunter or Logan Stieber from history this year, it's Devin Carter.
Great. That's what we want to hear. I mean, we want to hear arguments on the Associated Wrestling Press's College Wrestling Review. Let's move to 149. Sal Mastriani, and I this is something that I hate to say that we called. We did the preview. We said Mastriani's. This is what I said. I'll toot my own horn. If I only have one horn, if I had multiple, I would toot them together, because I said he's going to come out here. He's going to pick up the win. He deserves to be ranked 19 or 20. I don't think he gets past 19 this week. He's going to jump in the rankings, and he should, as he should. He just beats Zach Bites, but I think he jumps into the rankings. Is Sal Mastriani one of those individuals that you see at the NCAA tournament reaching the round of 12? Yes, I can see him reaching the round of 12. Anything after that, I don't see it. I don't see him reaching the All-American round, but I see him picking up points for Virginia Tech.
I think Sal Mastriani is, he's one of the top guys in the country. He needs to pick up his consistency. He's beating guys like, he's beating his teammate Devin Carter, and he's one of the reasons Devin Carter is back down to 141 pounds. But he's not winning matches that he should be winning.
Very true. Vegas,
as he was the number 2 seed in Vegas last weekend, and comes out and I believe he places 6th place. So Sal Mastriani is a very talented wrestler. He just needs to get to a consistent level, and he's going to be he could find himself on the podium in March if he does that.
Yeah, and you know what, Kevin Dresser, and I've said this from the time I started getting recruited. Kevin Dresser is the best recruiting coach in the country. You're seeing, Virginia Tech was nothing. They have Brands leaves. He takes Metcalf with him. And, the program changes. Who they bring in? They bring Kevin Dresser. Kevin Dresser has done a tremendous job with Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech was nowhere years before. They're relevant. They are relevant. They beat Ohio State this year. Penn State, they come in. Do they have an opportunity to knock off the 4-time defending national champions at Penn State? They do. They absolutely have that opportunity. But, heavyweight came down to a different match. Let's move on. Virginia Tech's winning this duel 12-9 at this point when David Wesley and Cody Law lock up. It wasn't. I mean, what do you have in this match?
Oh, actually, correction. It was actually 9-6 going into the David Wesley and Cody Law match. So
9-6. Okay.
Yep, 9-6.
Oh, so at intermission they went 9-9.
Correct. Yep.
Okay. Yep.
David Wesley and Cody Law. This is a very interesting matchup. You got a freshman from Penn State, Cody Law. Cody Law, very talented high school wrestler. I think he was, I believe he was a 2-time Pennsylvania State champion, if I'm not mistaken. And David Wesley, he's a transfer from the University of Virginia after a couple years. He's had some interesting seasons. Nothing comparable to some of his teammates like Devin Carter or Joey Dance, but he's very talented. He's so I didn't know who to pick in this match, and Cody Law comes out and gets the better of David Wesley, and really dominates from start to finish.
Right.
And,
we move
Cody
to
Law.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Christian.
Oh no, just saying Cody Law really beginning to make a name for himself as a freshman out there in the for the Nittany Lions.
So after this match, we move to the intermission, all tied up, even. Where do you go after that? Hammond versus Moon. And this was the match that kind of, I think, decided the duel. I think 25 was one of those unexpected matches that you say Joey Dance wins 9 out of 10 times. Today, Conway was better. You say 9 out of 10 for a reason. There's always that one opportunity that the opponent gets to knock you off. Conway took advantage of it. Does this happen at the NCAA tournaments? Absolutely not. But I don't want to harp too much on the Hammond-Moon match. Hammond ends up getting the fall. What I really want to talk... Yeah. Tech fall. Did I say fall?
Yep.
Sorry
Little
about that.
Fun fact for you in this match. Garrett Hammond and Chris Moon were high school teammates for 1 year at Wyoming Seminary. Hammond was a freshman and Moon was a senior. So pretty interesting match seeing little brother really beat up on the big guy here.
That's awesome. All right, let's move to that just made my night. All right, let's move to 174 and number 8 Zach Epperly versus number 3 Matt Brown. Zach Epperly, Matt Epperly's brother. I grew up wrestling with Matt Epperly. So, and you know what? We wrestled, we went over this match a couple nights ago on episode number 10. And you take Matt Brown every day. Every day you take Matt Brown. But if there was one top 5 matchup, there was one top 5 wrestler that was going to go down, it would be Matt Brown. I think Zach Epperly has enormous potential. He takes things to another level. If you watch him wrestle, you absolutely need to go out. His confidence was through the roof tonight. He went out there. He knew he had to get takedowns. He got those takedowns. He knew he had to get takedowns in crucial situations. He did that. You have to get off bottom, and you have to ride on top. He did everything he needed to do to beat the number 3 wrestler in the country. There wasn't anything that could have stopped him from winning this match. I mean, it was just... It was incredible. I really felt that for Epperly, this is kind of a career win where you say say, Christian, you're doing an interview with Epperly in 3 years, and you say, hey, what was the highlight of your career? Beating Matt Brown at Penn State.
Rec Hall.
You know what I mean?
In Rec Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah, one thing you can always look forward to when you watch Zach Epperly is he's going to wrestle 7 minutes.
Matt.
He's going to wrestle 7 minutes. I did. You got me. Yep. Zach Epperly. He's going to wrestle 7 minutes. He's going to wrestle 7 minutes hard. And you saw that a couple weeks ago when they wrestled Ohio State, triple overtime, comes in, gets a huge fall for the Hokies. And, this match, I really
Martin,
thought
right?
in the
Mark Martin?
Yep. And, I really thought
that was the change of the duel. That was the change of the duel. Mark, excuse me for cutting you off, but that I don't want to use the P word, but that really ticked me off because if you look at it from a team point of view, you don't give up.
You don't give up falls, and
no, you
especially
don't.
in big matchups like that. Two top
in college duels, you don't give up falls.
But what I was saying was Matt Brown. He gets a huge takedown. 10 seconds left in the second period to go up by 3 going into the third. And I was really scratching my head at Epperly on that one. And I was like, man, this is, I think that's the match for him. I really thought Epperly had a chance at getting an upset here. Gives up that takedown with less than 10 seconds left. And I said, man, he's, that's the match. Epperly gets an escape and a takedown in the third. And, we're going to overtime and
I agree. But here's the difference. If Epperly chooses the down position in the second, the match is totally different. Because he had the opportunity to go down in the third, and it ended up winning the match for him.
Let me point out.
Go ahead.
Let me point out, this dual meet, I want to give credit to the Virginia Tech coaching staff because throughout this entire dual meet, you saw that the Virginia Tech wrestlers were working from the first whistle to the last whistle. They wrestled hard. And
great point. That is a great point.
They really fought hard throughout this entire duel, and
they really did.
It really
every
brought
position
the energy,
they were ready. They came in. Virginia Tech, and you can say this throughout the year. Virginia Tech has came in every single duel. Did you think they would beat Ohio State? And keep in mind,
oh no,
Logan Stieber's not wrestling, Bo Jordan's not wrestling, but it doesn't matter. You wrestle who is on the mat. Virginia Tech didn't schedule this last year and say, hey,
let's hope the Stieber's out. And
Stieber's gonna be out. Bo Jordan's gonna be out. We're gonna win this duel. They didn't do that. They came to wrestle. They did what they had to do. I'm excited. Let's move to 184. Austin, Gable, and McCutcheon. McCutcheon 24. If we're going by J.J. Johnson's rankings that are on the AssociatedWrestlingPress.com, number 25 Austin Gable, number 24 McCutcheon. Matt McCutcheon. I feel like Austin Gable just came out ready to shoot high crotches all day. High crotch, turn the corner. You can't get much better than that. It's textbook. It feels like Virginia Tech is just... Go ahead.
Yeah, Austin Gable has really been, he's been putting together a pretty good season so far through December.
I agree.
Austin Gable's really, I didn't know who Austin Gable was before a couple weeks ago, and he's really been making a name for himself. Matt McCutcheon's only a freshman, but he's a tough guy to have in the Penn State lineup, and it's a pretty good win for Austin Gable.
I agree. It was an exciting match throughout. It was one of those can he turn the corner matches. He gets into the shots, but the ability to turn the corner is really what changed this match. And that's what I like to see is because you hear it all the time. You wrestle how you drill. And if you're a young wrestler out there and you're listening to this, this is what I can't stress enough. People say, how do you get great? You wrestle how you drill. So if you're going to wrestle and you're going to do those half shots, you're going to hit a high crotch, and you're just going to do a nonchalant double off, you're not going to get better doing that. Hit a high crotch, come up to your feet, turn the corner, get your head across, do what you have to do in the wrestling room in order to get better. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't sound
definitely.
crazy, does it?
And that's really what was one of the keys to winning this match for Austin Gable. Was Matt McCutcheon was in a couple times in pretty deep on Gable, and
couldn't
didn't
finish.
finish his shots. Couldn't finish his shots, and it cost him the match.
Yep. No, I agree. So, what can you say?
It's a learning experience for McCutcheon. He's young, and let's hope he doesn't make those same mistakes in March.
Yeah, they'll watch the tape. They'll get it. I hope they get it right. Penn State needs to be competitive at the NCAA tournament. But let's move on. 97, Hot and McIntosh. Not much here. McIntosh wins 5-0. Pretty. There was never a point where I said Hot's going to come back and win this match.
Well, really, it was a scoreless match. McIntosh gets an escape in the second period. Yeah. Hot goes down, gets ridden out, and with 10, 15 seconds left, McIntosh, gets a turn on top, puts a half in.
Yeah, puts a half in and then gets a 3.
That was close to a fall, but, saved by the bell, and, we're going to heavyweight with the duel on the line.
Oh, man, and I'm telling you what, this is what I live for. Ty Walls. I'm telling you, I'm excited about this because Ty Walls, if you 4th and 1, Super Bowl on the line, I'm giving the ball to Ty Walls. I don't care. I'm giving the ball to Ty Walls because that third period, high crotch, boom, stalemate. Stop it. Are you kidding me? And let's back up. Ty Walls, number 9 in the country, supposed to wrestle number 8, Gingrich. Gingrich, they don't throw him out there, right? They throw Jimmy Lawson. Jimmy Lawson, fully capable of winning this duel for Penn State. Fully capable. I'm not going to take anything away from Jimmy Lawson. Goes out there. He gets the big takedown in the second, maybe 8 seconds left.
I think
headlock type of deal.
Walls goes for a body lock or some sort, and Lawson goes for like a slide by, I believe, and end up getting the takedown. Short time left in the second period, and that was huge for momentum for Lawson. I thought
it was.
I thought Penn State was running away with the duel at that point.
And Ty Walls ends up getting. It was controversial, and if you were listening to it, hit high crotch, boom, doubles off. Jimmy Lawson comes up to his feet, cuts away. 1 second left. We're neutral. Do they give the 2-point takedown? Ty Walls stays on his ankle. Doesn't get the takedown. So the announcers, the broadcasters are saying he got the 1 for the escape. So they're neutral. Did he have enough time to get the 2-point for takedown? He absolutely did not have enough time to get the 2-point for takedown. He did get the 1. Referees go over. They review it. No takedown. We go to sudden victory. Getting a scramble.
And I thought.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I thought this was Ty Walls' match to win. Really,
so did I.
He was pushing the pace the whole third period.
He sits the corner. He sat the corner. You have Lawson. High crotch situation. Ty Walls sits the corner. He's scooting, and they get in a weird scramble situation. Lawson comes out on top. You see Ty Walls pounding on the mat, just totally upset because he knew he had the opportunity to win it and just blew it. Excuse me. But that's what you see,
There's a lot of emotion out on the mat in that match, and going in, you're a sophomore, and you're ranked top 10 in the country. You have the opportunity to win your team really, this would be this is this could be a program defining win for Virginia Tech, knocking off the 4-time defending national champions, and Ty Walls was that close.
That's so crazy. I
But
never thought of that. You're so correct. That is insane. Yeah, that is a great point. But listen to this. You think about it. Ohio State, Penn State, two. Besides Iowa, you don't have any other. Iowa, Minnesota, Penn State, and Ohio State in the Big Ten. They could have potentially knocked off 2 of them. That's insane. But they didn't end up doing it. 20. Excuse me. Penn State ends up 20-15. A great duel. I know I was on the edge of my seat the entire time.
I really.
But that's what you want to see. That's what.
I know you say it a lot, and I'm pretty sure a lot of wrestling fans. We want to see more wrestling. We want to see more wrestling coverage. And if this is the type of match you want to show to someone who is not a college wrestling fan, because this match is going to put them on the edge of their seats, and this is going to make them say, "Man, I want to see more Division I wrestling on national television."
That's people get addicted to drugs because it just makes them feel like no other. This is what it made me feel like when I was on the edge of my seat. I just yelling. I was so excited. I'm yelling for Ty Walls to get that takedown in the third period to push it to the overtime. He did that only because I wanted to see more wrestling. I got that. That's what I wanted to see, and that's what happened. So you hope for it, you dream for it, you wish for it. That's what ended up happening. Great duel. So if you haven't watched it, make sure you go and you check it out. Check out the highlights. We can't say any more about it. Is there, Christian? Thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. I can't thank you enough for coming on the College Wrestling Review tonight. Once again, let's tell these people when your camp's coming up. What are you doing the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, next Sunday, not this coming up Sunday, next Sunday after Christmas, December 28th, Prestige Worldwide is hosting our first ever clinic, and we're really pumped about it. We're trying to get a big turnout, and we're trying to create a wrestling culture in Virginia that hasn't been here for, Virginia's been off the map for a couple of years. Shout out to you for being, I believe, the last national champion from Virginia. If I'm not mistaken, I may be wrong.
No, you're right.
Yeah, we've been.
I hope it stays that way. Shout out to Easy, a.k.a. Show Enough on the Beat, and if you ain't got an Instagram, then send me a tweet.
Yeah, but, it's pretty cool.
No, what? I think it's great. I think it's great what you're doing for Virginia. You go out there, you do what you have to do. You bring these kids together, and even if they don't win, you're getting kids off the streets. You're keeping kids out of trouble, and that we need more of this. We always. Yep. Go ahead. Sorry, excuse me.
Yeah, we're having a good time. We're bringing the top guys in the state together to showcase their talents against the best kids in the country, and we're having a good time doing it. And I really think these guys not only appreciate what I'm doing for them, but I really appreciate what they're doing for not only me, but the sport of wrestling in the state of Virginia.
That's great. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Christian, where can they follow you on Twitter?
You can follow my personal account on Twitter. It's CJ Olanowski. My apologies. CJOLANASTY 33, or follow Prestige Worldwide on Twitter. More importantly, because I want you guys to keep up with us and keep up with what these young studs are doing at PWW Boats and Throws.
All right, and I know you're pretty big with the merchandise, so and let's give a shout out to Wrestling Addicts. Wrestling Addicts does great work. Yeah, look at that. Wrestling Addicts does great work. So they can they send you a message on Twitter if they're looking for a shirt or something like that? Is that how it works?
Yeah, get a hold of me on Twitter, get a hold of me on Facebook, get a hold of me on Instagram, whatever it is. I'm on all social media. And, even you can even contact you, get in contact with Easy E. And, you've been a supporter of Prestige Worldwide for years now. And, we love to have more people supporting and following us. And, we've been doing some free Twitter giveaways recently, and we're just trying to build a fan base.
Absolutely. All right. Well, hey, listen, we've been going. This is our 36th minute. We don't want to continue to run over. We got bandwidth issues as it is. We got the government coming after us, wondering why we're doing 36-minute interviews. We don't need to be doing that. We're going to cut it short here. Christian, thank you very much for joining us on episode number 11 of the Associated Wrestling Press's College Wrestling Review to go over the Penn State-Virginia Tech duel. Any last words you want to get in before we cut this off?
Yeah, I really just want to highlight one thing. After the dual meet, Devin Carter posted a tweet, and he said, let's not I want to read this.
Read it word for word. Let's get word for word.
This is pretty cool. He said, let's not let this loss overshadow an upset by Salvatore and Et Monkey, and a hell of an effort all around. A team of warriors. Devin Carter is keeping high spirits in a tough loss.
That's great.
To a great Penn State. Devin Carter's a great leader, and he's a great
that
advocate
shows
for the
right
sport
there.
of wrestling.
That shows right there. That's amazing. I like that. I'm gonna go on Twitter and I might retweet that. I don't know. I'll think about it. Give me a couple minutes. I'll feel how. I'll think it out. But anyways, hey Christian, once again, thank you so much for coming on. You're always welcome on the show. You know that. Pick another duel. We'd love to have you. Pick another duel that you love to go over, and I'm sure the fans of our show would love to have you on again. Just hear your insight of wrestling, because obviously we could tell you're so knowledgeable on the sport. Thank you so much. I've been Eric Olenowski. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at easy_shownuff. He's been Christian Olenowski. Thank you so much. And make sure you go check out the Associated Wrestling Press's College Wrestling Review on the AssociatedWrestlingPress.com. JJ Johnson does weekly updates on the rankings, so make sure you check that out. This has been it for episode number 10 on the Associated Wrestling Press's College Wrestling Review. Thank you for checking it out. Have a great night.
Thanks for having me.